Hey there, Lucy. Bad news, girlfriend. I'm pregnant. And your husband's the father. Wait. Anya? Is that you? I haven't heard from you for, what now, 5 years? And the first thing you say to me is, that? What's going on here? I just told you. I'm pregnant, and you're precious and faithful. Or so you thought. Husband Henry is the father. You know what that means, don't you? I bet you do. We went through the same sex ed class in middle school. Oh my God. Now that you mention it, Henry hasn't been around the house for some time now. I can explain that. He's been living in my apartment with me. You're a smart girl. You always got some of the best grades in the class. You know what you need to do now, don't you? Listen, Anya, there are certain lines that you shouldn't cross when trying to play a trick on someone. I mean, seriously, you're an adult. You should know better than to tell such ridiculous stories. Aw, you poor thing. You're trying so hard to hold on to your pride. But think about it. You've been trying for so long to get pregnant, but you still haven't been able to have a baby, right? You being a broken woman has kept Henry from having the child he's always wanted for 7 whole years. I'm not sure what you mean by broken woman, but if you're implying I'm infertile, the doctors have said no such thing. Henry's so lucky he found me. If not, he would have stayed childless and miserable with you forever. Oh, Lucy, it pains me to say this. Who am I kidding? It doesn't pain me at all. But this baby wasn't an accident. Henry wanted me to get pregnant. He wanted me to have his baby, and I gave it to him. What the? You got pregnant on purpose? I think you deserve to know that Henry says he has no use for a barren woman, and that he wants to divorce you and marry me. Well, this should be entertaining. Entertaining? What do you mean? Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Congratulations, Anya. I wish you the best of luck. Oh my God, you're pathetic. But go ahead, keep up the act via text. I know you're crying your eyes out in real life. Just hurry up and divorce him as quickly as possible, got it? After all, I'm already 6 months pregnant. We'll probably wait until the baby's been born and things have settled down to have our wedding, but if possible, I'd like to file our marriage certificate before the birth. So yeah, be a dear and sign on the dotted line when you get the paperwork, okay? Bye-bye, girlfriend. Thanks so much for divorcing your husband, my husband. And it was just in the nick of time, too. I'm already in my last month. With this, we'll be able to get legally married before the birth with no problems at all. Did you get the divorce settlement payment in your account yet? Henry's parents were kind enough to foot the bill for us. We didn't have to pay anything. Isn't it great, marrying into a wealthy family? They can throw out thousands of dollars like that at the drop of a hat. I bet you miss this lifestyle already, huh? Wow, you already got married? That was quick. Of course we did. We took a picture of us together with the judge who married us. Do you want me to send it to you? I'll pass. Are you sure? I look really good in my white dress. And we made sure to edit my pregnant belly out of it. About that picture, are Henry's parents in it too? Huh? Yeah, they are. Most of the pictures were just me and Henry, but his mom and dad were really excited to take a picture with all of us, so we had someone take a picture of all 4 of us at the front of the courthouse. Why do you ask? They did the same thing when me and Henry took our marriage certificate to the courthouse, too. Oh, really? Well, I guess that makes sense. They're so excited for their son to get married, they want to tag along to see the exact moment that their marriage becomes legal, huh? And now you're jealous that they're doing it for me and not for you? Aw. I feel a lot of things right now, but jealous isn't one of them. There you go, acting all big and strong again. You should know, Henry's parents had a lot to say about you. Ever since they found out you were a useless, barren, dried-up excuse for a woman, they'd been waiting for you to divorce him, but you were just too stubborn. They were incredibly grateful to me, too. Not only did I give them their first grandchild that they'd been waiting 7 whole years for, I also got rid of the dead weight that's been holding Henry back for so long. That's you, by the way. Oh, Anya, you always knew how to make me laugh, even back in middle school. What's so funny? You really don't get it, do you? Get what? Oh, nothing. To be honest, I'd been wanting to divorce Henry too, so if you're honestly happy with hitching your wagon to that family, then I don't really have any reason to stop you. You have my full blessing to do whatever you want with him from now on. Lucy, what's with you? You're acting like you're enjoying this? Is that how I seem to you? Maybe there's something to that. Will you stop speaking so cryptically like that? It's getting creepy. Well, let's step the creepiness up a notch then, shall we? Henry and his family have some incredibly outdated beliefs about women. Like the kind that a simple internet search would cure in about 5 seconds if they ever cared enough to look it up. What, are you saying they're fundamentalist religious nuts or something? I don't believe you. The simpler explanation is just that they wanted an heir to carry on the family business. You being infertile meant that they were never going to get one, so they hated you. But fortunately for them, now they do have an heir because unlike you, I'm actually a real woman. Real women can have babies, you know. And guess what? We just found out that the baby's a boy. Uh-huh. Well, just don't ever tell me that I didn't warn you. There is something very important about Henry that you apparently don't know, and his family's outdated beliefs are connected to that. Again, with the creepy, cryptic statements. Stop that! Great news, Lucy. The baby was just born. I swear he just popped right out of me. I barely even felt it. Oh, wow. The baby was born already? If I'm not mistaken, your due date wasn't for another few weeks, right? That seems kind of soon. Yeah, and so what? Early or not, the baby was born as healthy as a horse. What are you getting angry at me for? I was just concerned about you and the baby. Premature births carry a lot of risks. Surely you're aware of that. Oh, is that really why you asked? What's the matter? Can you think of another reason why I'd be asking? No, you creepy weirdo! The doctor said the baby was safe to be born any time, and the baby was born healthy. I don't see why anything else should matter. I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, Henry's happy, end of story. Really? Well, I'm glad for you then. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm at work right now and need to put away my phone. This is the life. We moved into Henry's parents' house so their maid could help take care of me and the baby. And let me tell you, their maid is incredible. She does all the cleaning and cooking so I don't have to lift a finger. Plus, Henry's parents are so thrilled about the birth of their grandson that I barely even have to look after him myself either. This is paradise. Oh, and by the way, about our wedding, it's scheduled for about 6 months from now. We booked the biggest venue in the state. And do you know how much Henry's parents are shelling out for the wedding? $100,000. Can you believe that? Obviously, I'm not going to invite you, but I'll be sure to send you tons of pictures of how awesome I look, huh? Today's the big day, Lucy. It's the day of me and Henry's wedding. You know, the one his parents paid $100,000 for. I told you about that, right? And oh my God, my dress is fabulous. They must have spent half the cost of the wedding on this dress alone. They had it custom made by an Italian designer, and let me tell you, that guy knows wedding dresses. Oh, today's the day, huh? Well, congratulations. What? Didn't I tell you? I thought I did. I mean, you kinda did, but all you told me was that it was 6 months away. You never gave me any specifics. Oh, oopsie. Sorry, girlfriend. It was no big deal. I wasn't invited anyway. If your wedding is today, that means Henry's parents are out of the house right now. Uh-oh, are you planning on going berserk and trashing their house while they're away? You're still in love with Henry, aren't you? No and no. I was just thinking to myself via text, which now that I stop and think about it does seem kind of odd. But anyway, the thing is that I finally moved out of the house that Henry and I were living in just a little while ago. You what? Okay, you're definitely still in love with him. Please, I was just waiting until I found a decent place to move into, that's all. While I was boxing up my things for the move, I noticed that Henry had left behind quite a few of his own personal things. It wasn't just some junk that I could throw away, so I packed it all up in a box and sent it to Henry's parents' address since that's where he'd be living. The delivery company said that it should be arriving today. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. The delivery driver can just put it in the locking delivery box they have at the front door. Oh, they have one of those? They didn't before. Well, you know, things change. I happen to have a wee bit of a shopaholic side to me. I buy things online all the time. They put it there just for little old me. I see. Well, in that case, I suppose there shouldn't be any problem then. Hey, I just told you your parents renovated their house for me. Doesn't that make you angry, jealous, sad, anything? I think I'll get back to unpacking now. Enjoy your wedding, Anya. Don't ignore me, Lucy. Make sure you take care of that box when you get home. Lucy, what is this? What is what? The box you sent in the mail today. Henry's parents got home from the wedding before us and opened it up. Uh-oh. But why did they do that? It was addressed to Henry, not them. They had no right to open it like that. Well, for what it's worth, I don't mind if they opened it. None of it's my stuff. It's all Henry's. Oh, well, I'm so glad that you're feeling just fine and dandy. Meanwhile, my life is in total chaos because of this. Yeah? Why's that? Henry, he's infertile? And not just kinda infertile. He's the you will never ever possibly have a child kind of really infertile. I didn't know that. His parents didn't know that. Not even Henry knew, but now they all do. So now they're telling me that they think Henry isn't the child's real father. They're demanding that I get a paternity test. Well, from what you're saying, I'm getting that there was apparently something in the box of Henry's stuff that showed he was infertile? Obviously! I thought that went without saying. Okay, well, I was just confirming. You kinda skipped over that part. Boy, you're really upset about this, huh? Was it maybe the envelope from the doctor that tipped them off? That was addressed to Henry directly, so I just sent it right over without opening it. Wow, that was his fertility test results? I was wondering when they would get those back to us. Are you saying that Henry had a fertility test done before we got married? But that doesn't make any sense. He never doubted that he was the father. At least, he never expressed any doubts to me. Why did he get a fertility test? We'd been trying for so long with no success that I figured one of us had to have some sort of issue, and after a ton of prodding, I finally got him to agree to both of us getting tested. So each of us went to a doctor that we knew and trusted and had them do a wide array of tests. As for why Henry didn't seem to know, this is just a guess, but the envelope arrived at the house just a little bit before the two of you got married, right? Well, back then he was living at your house. He was never at home to pick up the envelope. So he probably didn't know that he was infertile because he just never plain saw the test results. What? He went to all the trouble of getting tested, but he never even checked the results? Right? It's not like those tests were cheap either. I'll bet that since he was in a relationship with you and you got pregnant, he figured he didn't need to see the results. He thought you were his pregnancy test. Since he was assured that there was nothing wrong with him and that it was his barren wife who was the problem, he ran off with you and forgot all about the test. At least, that's the best explanation that I can come up with. What do you think, Anya? Got any better ideas? This can't be happening. I tried to tell you. Tell me what? I told you his family had some very outdated ideas about women. I wasn't referring to any religious belief, just the idea that fertility problems are all on women. They think men can't be infertile. They were thrilled that they finally had their grandson, but now they find out that the child they'd been fawning over for the last several months is probably not their grandson. Not only that, but now that they found out Henry can't have kids, they know that they will never have the grandson they dreamed of. That's got to be hitting them pretty hard right now. And keep in mind that this is all right after they forked out $100,000 for your wedding. Oh. Henry's dad invited a lot of big shots to your wedding, didn't he? Company executives, clients, business partners, and so on. It had to be a veritable who's who of the state's business scene. And since you lied and told them all that Henry was the father of your child, how do you think that's going to affect his dad's image when word about that inevitably gets out? There are going to be a lot of uncomfortable conversations at the negotiating table from now on. Oh no. I'm in a lot of trouble, aren't I? Yep, and you're gonna have to take care of it on your own. Oh my god. I'll leave you to sort out the ruins of your life then. Wait! You've got to help me do something, Lucy! I'm in deeper than I've ever been in my entire life! I have no idea what I should do about this! A short while later, both Anya and her child were unceremoniously booted out of Henry's parents' house. I heard from a friend that the results of the paternity test came back, and the result was exactly what everyone expected it to be. With nowhere else to go, Anya moved back in with her own parents. Her troubles didn't stop there, though. She was sued for paternity fraud by Henry's family for the amount of money they had spent on supporting her and her child up until the truth came out. And they also wanted her to pay them back for a portion of the $100,000 wedding they paid for. Anya's parents nearly fainted when they saw the grand total of the money she was on the hook for, so they promptly booted her out of their house, too. Understandably, they didn't want to be seen as aiding and abetting her fraud. She found a job at a factory with free employee housing, and her wages are being garnished to cover her legal bills. But wait, there's more. Henry's family company had been teetering on the brink of bankruptcy for some time. They threw the lavish wedding as a way of assuring his dad's business associates that the company is actually doing super-duper great. As you all know, however, that didn't turn out very well, and word spread around town pretty fast. I think their estate will be shrinking exponentially in the near future. On the bright side, though, now they don't need to worry about finding someone to take over the family business anymore.
Hey, Ray, are you there? I gotta talk to you about something real quick. Let me know as soon as you see this message. Hello, Warren. What can I do for you? Is everything okay? Yes, I realize that you may be out of the office right now visiting our site, so I hope that now is a good time to chat. That's no problem for me at all. I'm actually taking my lunch break at a cafe right now, so I have some time to text. Great. Well, I wanted to ask if you had any plans for tonight. Oh, well, no, I don't think I have any plans to speak of tonight. Although it is Friday, do you mind if I ask you why you're wanting to know? Well, I just wanted to ask you if you had any plans to go out tonight or anything like that. I know that you young people are always about, squeezing in your partying wherever you can get it. Right, I guess we can do that sometimes. But like I said, I don't have any plans or anything like that. Why do you ask? Do you think I'll have something overtime to do tonight or something? No, of course not. I was just wondering if you want to go out and grab some dinner with me is all. There's a new steak place that I really wanted to try out. You want to invite me to go out with you to a steakhouse? Well, just think of it as a prize for yourself. I mean, this morning, when you locked in with a class into their contract, I just had never seen anything like it at all. You are great. I just want to show my gratitude for all you've done for our company. No, it was really nothing. I was just trying to tell them what they wanted to hear without lying to them. Don't be so modest. You really did great, I swear. This is what we do in the industry, don't you know that? You close a big deal and then your boss takes you out for dinner. What's so wrong with that? Or is it the restaurant? Do you not like steak or something like that? I don't mind going somewhere else like sushi or pasta or anything. You name it, it's my treat, honest. No, it's nothing like that. I really love a good steak. Steak sounds fine. Thank you. Well, okay then, it's decided. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and offering to do this. Let's get dinner. That sounds like a fun time, actually. Aaron, are you there? I'm really sorry to be telling you this so last minute. But the thing is that I'm gonna be taking out one of my subordinates to dinner tonight, so I won't be eating at home.
Oh, really? But you didn't mention anything about going out for dinner tonight when you left for work this morning.
I know, I really didn't think that I was even gonna be doing this. But this employee is new to the company, but managed to close a really tough deal, so I gotta take him to show how thankful the company is.
Oh, I see. Well, that makes sense. I feel like this isn't the first time you've done something like this. But since you're already going out to eat, maybe I should take the kids out to eat somewhere as well. I was just thinking that it has been a while since we went out to a restaurant.
Well, I think that's a great idea. The kid deserves to eat out every now and then too. You should do that. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that that was happening and that I'm not gonna be home until later.
No problem. Thank you for letting me know. I do appreciate it.
Orin, I'm really sorry to be bugging you like this, but can we talk? Ray, why are you texting me? What's the matter? I know that the food is taking a bit to come out, but there's no need to panic. No, sorry, it isn't that. I just have to tell you something that I saw. So, I was in line for the bathroom since there was only one that wasn't closed for cleaning, and anyways, well, I just saw something that was really weird. You saw something weird? Well, okay, what was it? Is everything okay? It was nothing too horrible, it's just that I saw this mom and her daughter sitting at the dinner table. And the mom's plate was full of food and looked like it had just been delivered from the kitchen. But the little girl only had a cup of water in front of her. And as I looked around the table, I realized that there was a second kid, a son. And the son, just like the mom, also had a plate full of food. Wait, what? So you tell me that this parent went to the trouble of taking her kids out to dinner but is only letting one of them have water? Well, actually, it's more that I'm looking at this family. The more that I think that it's your family, Orin. Wait, what? You're telling me that you think the family that you're looking at right now is actually my family? You can't be serious about that, right? Well, I haven't seen them in person, but I've seen the pictures of your family that you have on your desk in the office plenty of times. And the little girl is sitting at this table is the spitting image of your daughter in the photo on your desk. So you're telling me that the girl that's sitting at the table and only drinking water looks like she could be in high school then? If I had to guess, I would say that she looks like she could be a high schooler, yeah? Well, I do know that my little Sarah has been on a diet recently and has lost a little bit of weight. Unless she isn't even on a diet. You know what? I think that I made a mistake. I don't think that family is your family. I mean, what would be the odds of that? I just think that I was standing in line for so long that I started getting a little bit too in my own head. I didn't mean to worry you or anything. I'm really sorry if I did, but it's probably just better to forget all that I've said any of this. You really think that it was just your imagination? I really hope so. But just in case, when you get back to the table, I'm gonna go out to the bathroom and look at the family that you were talking about, okay? Okay then, sounds good. I'm just gonna head out of the bathroom right now, actually. Okay then, see you in a bit. Well, I went over to the bathroom and pretended to use it, and you were right. That is my family sitting over there. But I'm so confused. I managed to get pretty close to their table without them noticing me, and I heard my wife telling my daughter that she was allowed to have water. While her and my son get gushing over how good the food was, she was clearly just trying to make my daughter feel even worse. I see. Orin, I'm so sorry. I really don't know what to say to this at all. It's okay, Ray, but I think if it's okay with you, I'd like to invite my daughter over to our table. You want to invite your daughter to come and eat with us? Well, I said that I got close enough to their table without them noticing me, but I think my daughter Sarah did actually notice. I texted her from the bathroom, telling her to keep an eye on her phone for me. I figured I would talk about this with all of you before we moved forward at all. Oh, I see. Well, I really don't mind at all if that's something you want to do. It sounds like your daughter probably isn't enjoying herself at all anyway, so by all means, invite her over. Okay then, just a second. Hey, Orin, I just wanted to thank you again for dinner. I can't remember the last time that I ate that well, and it really meant a lot to me that you wanted to take me out. No, don't worry about that. Besides, I only took you out because of all the hard work that you've been doing. Besides, I don't know how grateful you should really be to me, seeing as you ended up getting sucked into my family drama for just a bit. Oh, you really don't have to worry about that, Orin. I'm just glad that you were able to get your daughter out of that situation and have her come and sit with us. Yes, well, it only dawned on me that when she came to the table that you probably have no idea about anything regarding my family, really. Especially the fact that Sarah is my daughter from a previous marriage and that Erin is my second wife who has her own son. We've been married for 2 years already, and I really did think that things were going well for all of us. But I had no idea that she really disliked Sarah that much. Well, I know that this isn't really my place to say anything about any of this, but I just want to let you know that if I can help in any way, I'd be more than happy to. Thank you, Ray, that really does mean a lot to me. And you might just regret telling me that because I may actually call you in for some assistance at some point.
What is the meaning of this, Orin? You can't actually be serious about this, right? Are you really going to divorce me? For what? What did I even do?
Erin, are you really gonna tell me that you have no idea what those divorce papers might be about at all? You really have no idea why I might want to divorce you?
Well, I guess there was that time about a month ago that I had to leave Sarah with your mom at the very last minute. But I only did it because your mom lives so close to Sarah's high school and I really didn't have time to go and pick her up. Surely that isn't what this is all about though, right?
You're so close and yet so far. It's something that happened about a month ago. You're right about that. But can you guess at all about what else it could be?
You mean it wasn't about that? Well then, what could this possibly be about? I really have no idea in the slightest. Can't you just tell me?
I'm talking about what you did to Sarah at the steakhouse. You took both of our kids out to eat there, and yet you only let my daughter drink water while your son was able to eat his fill.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Where is this all coming from? Did Sarah tell you that? Surely you don't really believe that, right? Of course I let her eat. She can eat whatever she wants. Why would I care about that? In fact, she actually ate the most out of all three of us when I took them out for dinner then. I was actually so surprised at how much she was eating because she's always going on about her diet, you know. But she didn't really seem to mind.
Erin, just give it a rest. I was in that same restaurant while the three of you also were.
Wait, what? What do you mean you were there with us? It was just the three of us. I'm sure that you weren't there at all.
You're right. I wasn't there eating with the three of you. But I told you about how I was going to be taking out one of our employees for a dinner, right? Well, we went to that same steakhouse, and while the two of us were there, we saw what you were doing to Sarah. Well, my coworker actually saw it first. I only went over to check on you after he told me he thought he saw my family there.
Hold on a second. So then, when Sarah left the table because she said she was getting a phone call from a friend and then never coming back.
That's right. She wasn't really getting a phone call from a friend. I just invited her over to have dinner with my colleague and I. We were in another part of the restaurant, so I guess that you didn't actually see where we were sitting.
You've got to be kidding me. You aren't actually serious about all this, are you?
Of course I'm serious, but I have to say that I'm just shocked at all that Sarah told me while we talked that night. She let me know all about how when I wasn't there that you would treat her so awfully.
Me? What on earth are you talking about? I've done nothing on the sort. You aren't really going to take her word over mine, are you?
I thought I told you to just drop the act already. Sarah even had recordings of you yelling at her at home. And she told me about how you stole her money that she got from her job and never sent her to school with enough food. She even showed me all that she wrote in her diary about what you were doing to her.
But, see? Why would she do that? I didn't even know that she had it in her to talk about all this. She's always so sad and quiet at home. Why does she open up to you?
I just want you to know that I was talking to a friend of mine who is currently studying law, and he told me that there is nothing that can stop this divorce from happening.
Oren, please, just calm down. Surely we can talk about this. I mean, I know you told me to drop off Sarah at her grandma's so that she could live there for a while, right? I thought that was your way of choosing us over her.
It was never about that. I sent my daughter to go and live with her grandma so she wouldn't have to live with you or her son.
And so you're really just going to divorce me then? It isn't fair. You can't do this to me.
Well, it's either that or we could take this matter to court.
Court? Are you threatening to sue me? For what? I didn't even do anything wrong. Please, you can't do this to me, Oren.
Of course I can. But if you just agree to sign the divorce papers, then I'll accept Sarah's bereavement payments via the alimony.
Bereavement payments? What on earth are you talking about? You mean on top of divorcing me, you're really going to try and make me pay? It wasn't like I was out cheating on you or something. I was just trying to show Sarah some tough love.
I don't care what excuses you have. The fact of the matter is that you are treating my daughter terribly despite marrying me and becoming her mother-in-law. So you might as well save all your excuses for her.
But this can't really be happening. Are you really going to choose your daughter over your own wife? You wouldn't be so crazy as to do that, would you?
Are you going crazy? Of course I'm gonna choose my daughter. I was always going to choose my daughter.
But it's really that easy for you. I don't believe it.
Anyways, just know that this divorce is going to happen. I've already talked to a lawyer about it and she said it's gonna be pretty cut and dry.
You mean you've really already gone out and hired a lawyer for all of this? I guess you really are serious about leaving me.
Of course I'm serious. Even if you told me you were gonna stop all this nonsense and treat my daughter fairly, it still wouldn't change my mind. The only thing I want from you now is an agreement to the divorce. That's the only way I can save my daughter from you.
But I don't want a divorce. I don't want to leave you, Oren. Surely it doesn't have to be this way, right?
If you didn't want it to be this way, then you should have treated my daughter how you did in the first place.
But then what about my son? You're really going to walk away from this marriage and him when he didn't do anything?
No, please, I know that you and your son have both been bullying my daughter together. I'm so glad that you two could bond over treating someone so horribly. By the way, I've canceled the lease for our place, so you and your son have until the end of the month to move out.
Cancel the lease to our apartment. How could you do that?
Why would I want to live with the woman who I'm divorcing? You better start packing up your stuff quick and look for a new place to live, too.
But then, you're really going to leave me as a single mother. You're just going to cast my son and I into a life of poverty because we were teasing your daughter a little bit. Are you still sure that you want to go through this divorce? I really think that it would be best if you didn't. I mean, who is going to want to marry a man your age with a kid who's been divorced twice?
I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure my daughter is safe. Besides, I did a little more digging and learned about something about your last divorce. You told me that you and your husband split up because of an affair, but now I realize that it was you who was engaging in it.
Wait a second. How did you find all that out? And just who are you to judge me anyways? You and your wife probably split because you were cheating on her.
Actually, my wife died of cancer.
Oh, well, I don't have anything to say on that.
And I don't have anything more to say to you except that you had better pay me by the deadline you agreed to, or else. Hey, Ray, are you there? I just wanted to be the first to say welcome back from your business trip. Oh, thank you, Oren. I appreciate that. I was just gonna drop off my papers at the office and then I was gonna go home. I see. Well, if you don't have any plans, I was thinking you and I could go out for the night. Oh, well, I haven't made any concrete plans since I'm just getting back. Excellent! I have another really great place I'd love to take you. Kind of a local hole in the wall that not really a lot of people know about. It'll be my treat, so what do you say? Well, I really appreciate the invitation, but you just took me out to eat the other month. I couldn't possibly ask you to do that again. Well, I just thought I'd invite you out so I could tell you how the rest of our family drama went since last month. Thankfully, I was able to solve it without having to call you in for anything after all. After that, I went out with Oren and met him at the address that he gave me. The restaurant was tiny and packed, but the food was delicious. I noticed that Oren seemed to be a lot happier than usual. He told me all about how he had found out what his wife was doing to his daughter. He told me about how he realized that he had to get her out of that situation no matter what it took. Then he told me about the divorce and how he convinced his wife to pay a huge sum to settle any future legal issues that might be between the two of them. Oren told me about how he and his daughter have moved in with his mom for the time being and that they are looking for their own place. He said that now it's just him and Sarah together, and he wants to make sure that he has everything he needs for a happy life, and that he makes sure he's there to be a part of it.